welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Blue Lounge. Welcome, lads. Congratulations to Liverpool. Congratulations to Liverpool for winning the second domestic trophy of the season. Congratulations to Liverpool for beating Chelsea on penalties again. Chelsea, what is this, their fifth final? Their fifth final. And guys, I've got a strong case of hay fever today. The fifth Wembley final, I think, sixth, fifth. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous, lads. I gotta blow my nose, seriously. Hay fever. 1 second. Just to put myself on mute. Sorry about that, lads. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to talk about. Do I talk about the fact that the game should have been done and dusted in the 90 minutes? Do I talk about the fact that Chelsea could have put that game to bed? Do I talk about Perisic having so many opportunities, but his hesitation, his lack of focus doesn't allow him to finish and score? Do I talk about Lukaku and his inability to find the back of the net when it matters? That being said, Lukaku played well. His hold-up play, his link-up play was good. Just couldn't finish. Do I talk about the midfield? Do I talk about the defence? Do I talk about Mendy giving me heart attack moments right from the get-go? What do I talk about? I don't know. Do I talk about whether or not we should have had a couple of... We had a couple of good shots for penalties. VAR apparently didn't interfere, didn't make a decision because the referee didn't request it, or something along those lines. Decisions that normally would go the other way had it have been a Chelsea player committing the foul. Had Hakim Ziyech been the one fouling, I don't know, Salah or Diaz or someone, that would have been given. The fact that Hakim Ziyech was the one who was fouled, it wasn't given. Do I talk about Azpi and his lack of concentration in the vital moment in the cup final, penalty shootout? You're the most experienced player, most experienced Chelsea player on that pitch. You're brought on because you got a accountability and responsibility that we believe you can handle. Hit the post. Do I talk about the substitutions? Loftus-Cheek, Ross Barkley. I'm still baffled. Timo Werner could have been utilised, but he wasn't. Pulisic was knackered. Timo Werner wasn't utilised. I don't understand that. Lads, today I am asking a lot of questions because I don't have any answers. Literally, I'm disappointed. I'm upset. I'm unhappy. And it's because I know we could have won that game. Was he injured during warm-up? I did not know that. Yeah, I did not know that. Makes sense. Because he should have been brought on if he was fully fit. Lads, I'm gonna just address you guys in the chat and your comments, and I'm gonna hand over to my panelists. And I wanna listen today. I'm done talking. I wanna listen. Who's in the chat? Wow, Ovizon had a good little rant with himself. Marina, Kante. Who else is he talking about? Yeah, Always has had a big rant on himself. If you guys want to scroll up and have a look. Like, share, subscribe. I'm gutted, so deflated. We can't finish at all, and that was the cost. That has cost us not just in the final, but two finals. More. I'll jump in the stream in 10 minutes. Also, absolutely sad. Big up to you, Chris. I hope you are able to jump on. 1 second. I haven't been crying. I promise you, I haven't been crying, but it looks like that. So let's just hate people. Jeff, gutted. Javi, big up everyone. Eric Dugan, big up. Big up. Verana, big up. Couch, heads up. Yeah. Yeah. Proud of the boys. Always proud of the boys. Always. Just wish they could have had a winner's medal today. Surf. Time to finish the season and do some cosmetic surgery. No. No. Finish the season and do some proper surgery. We need to change some of these ligaments, man. Limbs. We need to change some limbs to change something, man. Not cosmetics. I don't want to just make it look good. I want to do some proper, deep down, hardcore surgery. Change things around, man. Everywhere. From the administration to the players. Alright. Olu, big up. Aaron Jagger. But I am questioning Tuchel's logic more seriously now. Listen, Aaron. The fact that you have told me you are not a Chelsea fan and that you're only supporting Chelsea because of Hakim Ziyech, I can't take that comment seriously. I'm sorry. Thank you for your support, but I support Chelsea. I love Hakim Ziyech, but I support Chelsea at the end of the day. So I'm just saying that. Luke Mudway, big up to you. Marcio, big up to you. George, big up to you. Julius, Matthew Lee, everyone in the chat. Big up to all of you, Bassam, Raystone. There's a lot of you guys. Hawkeyes and Alex is just jumping on. Look, guys, I'm going to say welcome to everybody in the chat. Welcome to everybody on the panel. Julius, Hanu, Bobby, Alex. And I'm going to open it to you guys. Tell me what went wrong. Why hasn't Chelsea won this FA Cup? Why hasn't Chelsea won an FA Cup after reaching so many finals? What is it? What's going wrong? I'll open it to you guys. Let me hear it.
I can start.
Go ahead, Julius.
There is a couple of reasons. For me, of course, there is a little bit of some question marks about the small decisions made by Tuchel. For example, when you start Lukaku, I would have loved to see Ziyech playing alongside Lukaku. I think it would have been a better matchup than having Pulisic. That's one. Two, this is this season has been one of the most frustrating seasons, even though we've won 2 trophies and we've made a lot of finals. But that is also an indication and a result of bad recruitment and bad planning that is being carried from previous seasons. Third, referees. I don't like to blame losses on referees, but on a bigger picture, we lost a League Cup final to Liverpool when Lukaku scored a goal and was ruled out offside when it wasn't offside. We would have won that cup. Today, a penalty, in my opinion, or at least I'm not sure if it was in the box or just outside the box, that Ziyech when he was shoved.
It was in the box.
In the box?
It was in the box, yeah.
that's a penalty, because Son against Arsenal, he got the exact same penalty because he was shoved. Ziyech was through towards the goal. He would have got the ball, would have been potentially a goal, and then he gets shoved in a very very aggressive way, obvious way, and then nothing happens. And you know what's more interesting is that Paul Tierney, the same referee who gave that penalty to Son, was today sitting on VAR, and they didn't do anything. So again, and I'm not saying this is the only this is why we lost. No, there is a lot of other reasons we lost, but again, Liverpool gets away with it and win a trophy. And if you look at it, Guardiola has been right when he said everyone wants Liverpool to win, whether media or referees. He's absolutely right. The beloved Liverpool, everyone loves them. So, and the third thing
Julius,
is
I'll be back in 2 seconds. Yeah, carry on talking. I just got to reset my router. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
sure, yeah. And then the other thing I want to mention is the the DNA. There is a problem with the DNA of the squad, of certain players on the squad. Back in the days when we had Lampard, Czech, Drogba, Terry, Ashley Cole, those are winners. Imagine over a decade we've made Wembley our second home. Literally, when we go to Wembley, we're winning the final. We didn't even stress about it. Just it's a win. Chelsea in a final at Wembley. Nowadays, 5 losses in cup finals. Of course, there is context to each one. Kovacic against Arsenal FA Cup final. He's the one getting fouled. He gets a red card. We lose the game. But still, I can't only say, oh, because of referees we've been losing these cup finals. That's silly. The biggest problem here, and Bobby, you can follow up or carry that after when you give your opinion, is the gambling. This is a result of our club gambling with signing players, with managers. Casino FC, that's what we are. And when we lose the Warriors that we had back in the days, the luck is gonna run out at the end of the day, and it's gonna catch up to us. And this is the result of it. We have a big summer ahead of us. Let's see what they can do. I really have not much to say. And I'm not that surprised.
All right, I'm just trying to send the link to Matt. Matt, if you go and check your Twitter, you'll find the link there right now. So the link is sent to you, Matt. Where did Alex go? Hawkeyes, big up to you. Welcome.
Yeah, big ups.
Hawkeyes, you actually got the lineup correct. All right, so you got the lineup correct, and you also got an extra couple of points, I think. Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
So now you're ahead of Boogeyman, because if you get the lineup correct, you get 2 points on top of the point that you've already got. So fantastic. Oh, there's one good thing that came out of that.
You know,
Listen, lads. Like I said, today's stream is going to be an open stream. I'm not gonna ask people their thoughts and opinions about particular things unless something comes up. I want to hear from you guys. I want to keep it open and keep it free, and I want to hear from you guys. So let me just welcome Matt. Matt, you've been all over the gaff today, man. You've been traveling. You've been on like 6-7 streams today. So big up to you. Welcome.
Yeah, man, I was taking this day to come on, go on everyone's, try to get a shot on everyone's today, make up for the missed losses. But, it's not a good day to come on, not positive. But what do we do, man? What do we do? Like, we can't beat them in 90 minutes. They can't beat us in 90 minutes. And then the 50-50 draw, and they got us there. But, yeah, we'll discuss. I'll be here just for about 10-15 minutes. It's 6:20 a.m. So I'll be here for about 10-20 minutes.
Hopefully, we can get some of this pain off our shoulders, off our chests during the stream. Bobby, give me your thoughts, mate. Give me your thoughts.
Mo, just like you, I'm actually tired of talking.
Yeah.
I really am. Julius is spot on. there's a systemic thing here, and weakness breeds weakness. When Roman started and he had his board, and we were getting the right type of players, the club had strength. The execs were strong. We had the likes of Ron Gorley, Peter Kenyon. These were strong men in the transfer market. We had Michael Emenalo doing the scouting, and of course our managers, Jose. There was strength in the back room, and that strength permeated onto the pitch. Now what we have is weakness. We win the Premier League. Marina weakens the squad the next season. Conte, out of disgust, leaves. We win the Champions League. She weakens the squad the next season, and then we struggle. Upon all the problems Chelsea always have off the pitch, we need to be strong. And today we showed weakness. Yes, Liverpool, they couldn't outdo us on the pitch, but they took us to the end where that mental strength matters. And I do not find it acceptable that Chelsea, the club we are, go into a FA Cup final 3 times in a row for whatever reason and not lift that cup once. I don't find Mason Mount, believe me, I love Mason Mount. I love the idea of Mason Mount, but his penalty was unacceptable. Unacceptable. At that point in the game, that crucial point, and you take that kind of weak, lily-livered nonsense, I would rather you balloon it. At least Azpi beat the keeper and hit the post. That's painful, but I'll take that. But not you pass it to the keeper or you hit the keeper. That is weakness. That's weak-mindedness. And I
Bobby,
can't stand it.
the thing is, in that kind of situation, you have to place it, and
Yeah,
you're gonna have to place it top bins, bottom corner. You should be aiming to hit the side of the net. I mean,
smash
I'm not a
it.
professional footballer, but if I was a professional footballer, I'd be trying to do that because this is the FA Cup final. Mason Mount, I think this is his 6th final that he's lost.
Yeah,
Both
6.
for Chelsea international and whatnot.
Well, that
So
in
so
itself,
so
there's a weak mentality there, whether we like it or not. Ziyech, another one. This is why he's on the bench, lads. Yes, he had a penalty against him, but did you really need to fall over? Can't you be strong
Well,
for once?
exactly,
There's
Bobby.
just too
But
much
Bobby,
weakness.
they're physically weak. Same as Pulisic. They can't
Thank
stand on their
you.
own 2 feet.
Thank you. I'm
There's no
glad
urgency as
someone's
well from these
keeping it
players. There's
real.
urgency as well.
All this weakness around the team. Look at Liverpool. They have little players, but they're
I'm gonna
tough, strong.
I'm
We
gonna
have
I'm gonna
players
stop you,
falling
Bobby.
all over the place like a bunch of. I don't want to
Bobby,
say the word on YouTube.
yeah, I'm gonna stop you, Bobby. We're gonna just quickly watch the press conference because I really want to hear because I haven't seen it yet. I want to hear what Tuchel said after the game. I want to hear this. So just give me 1 second. Point it up on the screen. Where is it? Here we go. If you want me to stop it at any point, tell me and I'll stop it, and then we'll address what he's saying.
Your assessment of that this afternoon?
Well, I think, like in the last final in Carabao Cup, it's again no regrets. I told the team that I'm proud. I was proud before. I was happy before the match to arrive with this group, and we were sure that we are competitive and we can make life very difficult for Liverpool. We did again. We struggled in the first 15 minutes. And then we were excellent through the whole match. We have now 240 minutes of final time and play 0-0 against maybe the most dangerous attacking team in the world. So we created also a lot of chances. We deserve it as they deserve it as well. And again, we lose in penalties, so we're disappointed, of course, and we are sad at the same time proud because we left everything what you need. I was sure we win today. I was sure before, and I was sure during the match that the momentum is today on our side, and I was sure until the very last minute. And unfortunately, I was not right. So we have to digest it and keep on going. It's life in sports.
Just pause it here, Mo, just quickly here. He
Is
says
it possible
here,
to make 5?
he says here, there's no, in his words, he changed it. He's just saying there's no leadership, there's no urgency, there's no winning mentality on that pitch. He thought we had it, and he says he was wrong. There's nothing on that pitch. And that just sums up what Bobby was saying just now on why we have no urgency, why we have no leadership, why we have no winning mentality. And Tuchel just said it right here. What players need to come in and fix that? And I've been saying that for months. Azpilicueta's not a captain. Thiago Silva's not a leader. Mount doesn't have a winning. Like, these players just lack urgency. Like, look at Mendy. He misses a save. What does he do? His head goes down instead of up. Look at Alisson. Compared to Alisson, he's talking to his team, putting the players off. Where's Mendy's head? He's on the floor. Where's Azpi's head? He's on the floor. No one's keeping their heads up in the game. Every time when there's a mistake done, no accountability. And that's for me why we're losing every single game.
What a generation.
Say
What was
again,
that?
Hanu?
What a generation.
I'm not understanding you, Hanu. What do
I
you mean
think-
about generation?
Bottle. Like bottling?
I think he
Bottle.
said bottle generation.
Like,
The bottlers.
Oh, bottling. My bad. Yeah. Spot on. Yeah. Spot on.
There's some hard decisions that have to be made this summer.
£500 a day trade.
Sorry, Bobby.
Some
Carry on.
players are going to go for sure. They have to. And some are going to sit on the goddamn bench. I'm not listening to any of this anymore. Some of these players, including Mason Mount, should sit on the bench and come on as squad players. They're not good enough for us to pin our hopes on them in this team. It's as simple as that. We've got to keep it real now. Or this will just be going on over and over and over again.
In the currency markets? Well, that's the question we're going to be answering.
Hi Thomas, what happened with Timo, and also when did you find out that Kai Havertz going to be able to be
Well,
involved?
Kai, we did a last test with Kai. He did not train yesterday because of hamstring problems, and he didn't train yesterday because he thought if he trains he would injure himself. So we tried everything, left him out, tried medically everything, did the last test today in the morning. Was not better, not possible. And Timo had injured or like whatever, felt uncomfortable during warm-up and said he cannot play.
Was that hamstring as well? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a really impressive defensive performance. It looked like Thiago Silva picked up a knock early on and didn't really have much option but to play through it. That was a good part of it.
Yeah, of course, no options today. It was clear that in some moments we will suffer. Unfortunately, we suffered in the first 15 minutes straight away. We looked nervous, tense. I mean, we play also like with one day less in recovery. We had a away game against Leeds on Wednesday, and
Sorry, lads. This I don't like. I don't like excuses, and I feel that he's been pushed into this. This isn't Tuchel. Tuchel never talks like this, but I think he's been pushed into this by the players.
He did it with the pitch, and I think he's just trying to. I wouldn't say look for excuses, but look for reasons why we lost. And because these reasons are so basic, he doesn't know what to say, and he has to resort to these stuff just to get words out to these journalists. Because look at the team; they let him down, and he knows that. It's not his. This. I mean, obviously, it's part of his fault, but majority of it's from the players, and he knows it. But he doesn't want to call it out on him.
I think as well you could just round it up to the fact that the players are probably not just good enough to face a Liverpool side. So it's not about them even letting him down. It's about they're not just good enough to to face the Liverpool side.
The thing is, Hawkeyes, I think we are good enough. The fact that Liverpool struggled to score a single goal against us in two finals, it shows that we are good enough. But at the same time, it shows we are not good enough when it comes to finishing. You see, we have it. We have it within us to beat Liverpool, but we just need to go that extra mile. And unfortunately, we're not able to do that. And like Bobby was saying, it's probably a mental thing.
Again, 120 minutes, but it was clear that we will suffer against this team during minutes. But we recovered. We managed to stay in the match, maybe purely because of excellent goalkeeping performance from Edu. But this can happen, and then we digged in, and then we got better and better, more confident, found solutions, and created chances ourselves. But yeah, they're like everybody's in.
I'm sorry, lads, but I want to ask you this: do you think Mendy had a good performance today?
No.
Personally, not really. Not really. He had an
I,
okay performance.
Yeah. Okay.
I actually think Mendy is being poor recently, and today, I think in the first 5 minutes of the game, he had the ball and he kicked it out to one of their players, which caused a massive attack that we had to defend for a good couple of minutes, all right, just to to recover from that unforced error. I love Mendy. I think he's
Yeah.
one of the best goalkeepers in the league, but right now his performances not up to scratch.
Yeah.
And
I
and,
think
and, and again, is it the amount of games we're playing? I don't know.
100% to now games we're playing. We tried. There was the two strategies we went with. When Afghan, even the commentators were saying it. There was two strategies we went with. We either one, we forced him through the bad form, which we didn't work. Two was to rest him. We haven't done that. We still haven't rested him yet, and he's you can see in his mind he's mentally drained. These mistakes 4 times in 85 minutes. He'll get the ball and he'll just get rid of it and it'll go to the other player. 4 times. All right, he made one or two good saves, which is great. But let's look at the other side of the coin. Let's look at the other perspective that people aren't looking at. He's not doing well. For me, again, is Kepa going to be an option? I don't know. But let's firstly identify his problem, figure out the problem, and work towards the problem. Because we're not doing any of that. We're still at step
Yeah.
one. We're still at stage
Yeah,
zero.
I think Mendy has weaknesses in certain areas, and it's up to the goalkeeping coaches to develop them.
yeah.
We'll address that. We'll address that. We'll address that in a moment. Let's finish the press conference.
In pain, there's no way that you escape this game without pain. To impress new owners? No, honestly, I don't think. We try to impress in the way what we do, and we do it with full commitment and with passion. And this is what we do, and we play to the very limit with one of the best teams in the world at the moment. We did it now like 5 times in a row against them, and we did it again today. So I'm pretty sure that it was again I was pretty impressed at the sideline from both teams, and the way how to play with the commitment and the quality to play a final. So I was pretty impressed of both teams, and didn't think about to impress somebody else. We wanted to impress ourselves and take what we thought that we deserve, given the circumstances in which we arrive here, and we thought we deserve it, and we were ready to take it, but didn't take it, unfortunately. Thank you. Ruben injured? Because we take him off? No, that was purely for penalties. Yeah, Ruben has not a good history in statistically, and Ross has. So that was purely down to the penalty.
Oh, I have a question here. So you're bringing on Ruben Loftus-Cheek in extra time, taking off Lukaku, and he has a bad history at penalty taking. Am I the only one who's seeing something wrong here?
Oh, 100%. What does he expect for Loftus-Cheek, who's already shit, to come in 10 minutes as a role he can't play, and expect him to score a goal in 10 minutes? Obviously, he's not going to do that. Why are we even thinking we were going to even... If we're going to have any chance of scoring a goal in that position, we should have started Werner, but we didn't.
I mean, Werner injured. Okay, so bring on Barkley. I mean, Barkley is not a bad player. You want to play? I mean, the idea was to bring on Ruben Loftus-Cheek to be a false nine. I think Barkley could probably do that better than Ruben.
For me, just keep it. I wouldn't sub on any attackers because I don't think they make a difference. For me, if we were going to make any major risks, we could have. I don't know if we wanted to Saul for Alonso. Alonso was absolutely dead. He was killing it. He was the only one out there wanting to win, and he's one of the worst players in our starting 11 according to half the fan base. So,
all right, let's continue.
Can I quickly give my thoughts overall because I need to leave?
Go ahead, Han.
So for me, like Julia said, it is seasons and seasons of problems coming to a climax at this stage, and these players, their mindset is not right. We have it within us to beat these lots, but it's that extra mile, that extra step, which is that mental step these players need to take if they want to compete in the Premier League and win these finals. And Tuchel made some interesting subs that made me questioning, and I'm gonna put a magnifying glass on him for the rest of the season and next season. And if I swear, if we drop points against Watford or Leicester City, I am sell everyone in the squad, get rid of everyone, or start a new old squad. And Pulisic, he has done great. He did great, but that final pass, Ziyech was so many times, 2 times, as I can remember, he was open on that right hand side. He just needed a ball over the top, and he was in. Lukaku, same thing, in a gap, just that little ball through the gap, and we have a goal. And that's the thing, we don't have that X factor players, attacking players. We don't have the Kevin De Bruyne's, the Bernardo Silvas, that are attacking midfielders that can see that pass. And that's the thing. So
I know
yeah,
you make some fantastic points. We seem to play our attacking midfielders as wingers rather than in the attacking midfielder role. For example, Ziyech, when he's on the pitch, he's taking a winger role. Pulisic again, Werner, even Mount. Mount and Havertz are the only two that are utilized in a attacking midfielder role. We seem to try to utilize wingers more than attacking midfielders. We'll cover that in due course. Hanu, thank you very much for coming on. Much appreciated. Best of luck to you and your channel, and we'll speak again soon. Take care, Hanu.
yeah. Thank you guys, and
Thank you.
get the panel and all guys. You know ball.
Yeah, he does. He does. Big up. All right, let's continue. Let's continue with the press conference.
Imagine if manufacturing automation was simple. Introducing Vention. One platform.
Yeah. Yeah, harder, but not impossible, but for sure harder. Of course, it's like this. And maybe the best way about it is to be honest. We have now two days off, and then we need to prepare. Of course, the season is not finished because we have goals to reach in Premier League, and yeah, this is sometimes hard, sometimes it's good. But it is what it is. So life goes on, and it will go on latest next Thursday, when you're in the middle of the ring at Stamford Bridge, and yeah, we have still stuff to play for, but it will be a bit harder than coming with a trophy and of course the confidence of a big win. Yeah. I think we proved 4 times this season that we can produce peak performances to compete with them on this kind of level, that show all the results were deserved and could have gone in our way as it could have gone in their way. So we produce these kind of peak performances against them. The difference for me at the moment throughout the season, they can do it on Wednesday again, and then they do it on Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday again. And we struggle. They have a bigger squad available. They arrive with everybody except for Fabinho, everybody fresh and in the rhythm. In a final like this, we struggle. I think we have 3-4 players out. N'Golo Kante had 1 training session in a 50% intensity. Mateo Kovacic plays with an ankle. I didn't know that this is possible, that you can fit into a shoe. So. This is what it is, and this is where the gap comes from. They can produce these kind of performances obviously more often. They built this team for many years now and improved it. So this is where the gap is, and the sanctions didn't make it easier for us to close it. Will not make it easier for us, and. That's why, given the circumstances where we come from, and will be first of all, we need to finish the season, and then let's see. Yeah. Two. Yeah. Yeah, we need to. It heavily depends on what we do in the next 2 games and where we end up. And then I will give you my honest opinion about it. But I think we reached now consecutive domestic finals. We reached FA Cup final last year. We reached this year Carabao final. We reach again FA Cup final. Okay. Nobody can promise. I will not promise you any victories, and what we promise we can deliver. This is input and heart and passion and commitment, and living up to the fullest, to have no regrets. And this is what we do, and we will not stop in doing it. But yeah, like I said, I mean, they have awful lot to play for. They are in this kind of spirit where like everybody is available. They built this team for a long time. They are very, very, very consistent, and we are in the opposite situation at the moment. Given the sanctions, players are leaving, and yeah, this is like to arrive. Then in a final like this, play against Liverpool and play like this. You have the feeling, of course, I wear a Chelsea shirt.
This is the first time I've actually heard him use the sanctions as an excuse. He's never done that before. He's always said, it doesn't affect us. We had a good run when it first kicked in. We won 6 games back to back. And now that the thing is almost done, new owners coming in, he's using the sanctions as an excuse.
You have the feeling that we deserve it if we bring out a performance like this the second time in a row. I'm not saying.
And people, look, I'm sorry for to keep pausing the video, but I am not saying Tuchel out. I'm not saying that. I'm just pointing out things that need to be addressed and need to be looked at, because Tuchel, his tone has changed, his language has changed, his posture has changed, his body language, a whole bunch of things has changed about the way he's been handling the press conferences. We as fans need to try to understand why that is.
They did not, but I thought we deserve it a bit more, maybe, given how we arrive. And unfortunately, I have nothing to prove in my hands, but we will keep on fighting.
Jurgen Klopp was very complimentary about you at the end of the game. Said that he has mentality monsters. What gives you hope that next year you can take this group win trophies with that mentality?
I think we have everything to what it takes to win trophies. We proved it, by the way. I just had a colleague from you who I don't know if I heard it right, who wanted to convince me that we have a trophy-less season. But we have a World Cup and the European Super Cup. I take this as a trophy-less season, and I don't feel sorry that it was like in the beginning of the season or winter. We did everything to win these 2 matches. I mean, okay, we have to accept that there's an opponent, and they deserve also to win these matches, and they did it. Like I said, maybe it suits us, like giving the run in Champions League last season and the FA Cup final last season, and now again we were good in Champions League. We were very strong in both domestic cups. We can produce peak performances, and we have the mentality in the club to shape the mentality of the players to have these peak performances. But over the last years, Man City and Liverpool proved that you have to obviously deliver that on a level of consistency that we don't have, and we struggled with it. So we need to find it, build it, create it. I don't know, but it's a bit harder given the last month.
A lot to think about in that press conference. A lot to think about. Since we started watching that press conference, we had DJ Sav jump on and also Boogeyman. Guys, welcome to the stream. How you guys doing?
Yeah, not bad, man. Not bad. Big up everyone. Big up to everyone in the comments as well.
Big up DJ.
I'm good.
Listen, lads, today the stream and the discussion is an open one. It's an open forum. So it's an open forum. So I'm not going to dictate how the discussion should go, because we just lost the FA Cup final. And I want to hear what you guys have to say about it.
Yeah, the truth is, we lost it, and those are the time when I tend to be more positive than because there's not much to say. We don't have we have a coach that came to EPL and show us a way of playing possession-based football. And then we don't have a possession-based striker, the 100 million pound striker, who cannot play possession-based football. We have runners like a Pulisic that can carry the ball but cannot score. We have midfielder like Kovacic. Of course, he was 50% today, that can carry the ball but cannot shoot. We have N'Golo Kante getting old. We have Jorginho, carry the ball, distribute the ball, but other than that, cannot do much. So you look at the team, we were lucky enough to be even at all those finals, because there's something about it that I don't understand. How did you even make it to those finals with a team so
non-homogeneous. Like we know what we do, our system. Then I'm looking at today games and just uh, as much as I think we had our chances to win this game. At the end of the day, my frustration just at the end of the game, I was really frustrated, really mad. And if you were to open the stream at that time, I would be a completely another person right now. I would be screaming at all the player. But then, when you think about it, there's nothing. They did all they can do. It's the final, and they bring it. They took the game all the way to the penalty kick. And Aspi, uh, I'm not sure. Mount. If I ask you, if I ask the panel, when I say penalty kick, who do you think should be the taker? I'm pretty sure half of this panel will say Mason Mount. But the other thing you have to notice is the first five penalty taker of Chelsea today, Mount was not in it. So for some reason, he feel like he doesn't want to take it. Because if Mount has said he wants to take it, he would probably be on that list. But he didn't want to take it. Then the penalty was through the fifth, seventh, and he missed it. I don't think we should be blame anybody. Mount has done it. They run, they chase, the passes that Mount produced today on that field. Amazing. Pulisic, every time he takes the ball, he attacked Liverpool defense with no fear. He did his part also. Alonso, we criticize Alonso all the time. Today he was immense. And then ask me, I don't know why we don't get it. I don't know. It is what it is, man. I think we qualify for top four. We just keep our energy for next season, man, and let's make sure we don't drop out of top four. I think we play whatever game we play next, we win it or we tie it, and we stay in top four. And we keep this rolling. We see what happens next season. But something needs to change. I'm not sure what it is. I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this, and I want people in the chat to listen very carefully to this. I am just as gutted and upset as you are. So don't take it out on me by not hitting the like button. You need to hit that like button, all right?
Yeah, come on, people.
It's the
hit the
least
like.
you can do. It's the least you can do to give me something to smile about. Hit that like button, please.
Listen,
DJ,
Mo, yeah.
Was you at the game?
Yeah, I was at the match, man. I was at the match. Listen,
Talk to me,
what I'll
man.
say,
Let me hear it.
what I'll say to you, look, what didn't help, obviously, at the beginning of the match. I think people don't realize the reason with Timo Werner. I don't know if people know about Timo Werner. You know, he picked up a hamstring. He picked up an injury in the warm up, don't you? I don't know if you guys are fully aware of that.
During the game, I didn't know, and the commentators didn't seem to mention it. They kept on talking about why isn't he being substituted? Why isn't he being given time?
Yeah,
so it sounds like they didn't know about it, and which is weird because you think they know that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not an excuse to use anyway regarding that. But listen, what I'll say to you, look, the first 15 minutes, you all watched the game today, right? Liverpool, the first 15 minutes were dominating us. But the problem we had today is it's always been resource season, Mo. You know, we can't finish. It's as simple as that. We just cannot finish in front of goal. And people going on about, Lukaku and so on. But we had Pulisic today who had several chances to kill the game for us today. He missed. For whatever reason today, he missed his chances. Lukaku's hold-up play today, non-existent. I'm not gonna sit here putting him down. He's non-existent today.
I actually thought DJ. I actually thought his hold-up play was good. His
no.
It was no. Hey, listen. Who you comparing it? Who you comparing it to? Because you say no. Who you comparing it to?
If you ask me, go on.
I'm comparing it. I'm comparing it to him. I'm comparing it to him, and
it was better.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he was fantastic. He was
It wasn't.
I'm saying he was better.
It wasn't the best. It wasn't good enough.
Again, that's the reason why we lost it.
No, Boogeyman. No. I have to say no. We didn't lose the game.
But my point is this. Gigi, listen. I didn't mean to cut you, but let me put it this way. Every time we Chelsea fans sat on this panel and say Lukaku was better because of yesterday, he doesn't know how to hold up. Now he did it too good today. So what kind of crap is that? Is it good to be Chelsea player or not? So I mean, let not just jump in. Lukaku
But that
has
was
one control hold-up play today that I saw. All the other one, he has those headers. Nobody can
yeah, but
pick up the second ball.
yeah,
Two headers like that. The
it was
hold-up play
almost
only
four.
one. So when people are saying he has a better hold-up play, he has a better. What are we talking about?
No,
This
no,
is Chelsea. We use
listen.
Drogba, Costa. This
No,
listen, I
I
don't
agree
want to
with
go
you.
in detail,
And
but
look, no,
Lukaku today, zero.
yeah,
Okay,
no,
so we
listen,
shouldn't say it then, yeah?
yeah,
Boogie, that's
no,
what you're saying. We shouldn't say it at all, even if he did
Yeah, but
something
if
good.
you want to compare Lukaku to a striker. Don't
no,
compare Lukaku to Lukaku of yesterday. No, he will always be better. So that's what
Because
my problem
you
is
guys
with.
always
Then he's improving. Then he's improving.
no,
I don't,
I
no, you cannot compare
I didn't mean
someone
to
with
cause.
what his worst version. He's always going to be better.
DJ,
No,
That's
what,
my
DJ,
look,
problem.
DJ. Hold on,
yeah,
hold on. DJ, you didn't
yeah.
start nothing, man. This has been the case for the
So,
past month.
no, listen, bro,
So
listen.
you didn't start nothing.
Do you know what? Listen, bro, I can understand his frustration. Look, he frustrated a lot of us today, but look, it wasn't just about him today. You know, his service, he didn't get the service. I thought Pulisic was quite greedy today on a few chances. He could have. There were times when he
Yeah.
could have put the ball into him, and he could have finished the ball. He could have finished. He could have scored. You know,
Sorry,
Mason.
DJ.
You're gone.
I don't mind because Pulisic took on a couple of chances,
Yeah,
couple of shots. I don't mind him
his
doing it.
finishing
It's
was
just
poor, bro.
he needs to be a little bit more precise with
He
it because
does.
Pulisic, you are a fantastically talented player. All right, you know, I mean, I expect more from you, especially when you have 3 or 4 chances of that nature. All right,
Yeah.
the first one we'll say he was getting his eye in. Second one he was unlucky. Third one, fourth one, fifth one. Come on, Pulisic, sort yourself out.
100%, mate. And look, it wasn't him. Look, Mason Mount. And people are complaining. I've heard a lot of slack come towards Mason Mount today and his penalty miss. Other than his penalty miss, he didn't have a bad game today either. I mean, I don't think he was that bad either today. You know, the point of the matter is he was. The point of the matter is he just again I think he had one shot I think all game I think on shot to score a goal today. He didn't score. But I've seen a lot of haters come towards Mason Mount already on Twitter trending and already saying Mason Mount should be loaned out next season. He should be sold next season. That's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. He shouldn't be sold or loaned out. The guy just didn't. Today wasn't his day today. You know, a lot of those
Poor
players
penalty.
today. Poor penalty.
DJ.
Agreed. 100%
Poor
agreed.
penalty, but listen,
100%.
but listen. I can't remember which one of you guys said that he should have been taking the first 5, and the fact that he didn't is because
Yeah.
he was not confident. Was you?
I saw that already. Yeah, I saw that already.
Yeah,
But when I saw the first five, I was like, where's the Mason Mount? So I feel like he didn't want to take that penalty.
That was a surprise for me as well because Mason Mount is a good free kick taker. He's a set piece man. Penalty.
Yeah.
That is his bread and butter for Mason Mount, and he, you see, had Azpi had I don't know, Chalobah or a defender kick the ball in that way, I say unlucky. And the reason why I'm critical of Mason Mount is because I know what Mason Mount can do. Mason Mount, top bins. 9 times out of 10, top bins. So the fact that he didn't do that, I mean, even Ross Barkley's penalty was bad because it was down the centre. It was powerful. He just whacked it down the centre. Had Alisson gone the other way, he'd have saved that. So this is what I'm saying. Mason Mount, good game. Mason Mount had a decent game today. For people to hate on him for that, no. Criticize him for that, yes, because Mason Mount is a better quality player than for him to take a penalty in that way. And again, FA Cup final, nerves, he's still young. I can understand it, but it doesn't mean I'm going to like it.
No, I agree. And the other thing I will also say as well, Mo, is people keep talking about this Liverpool team, right? Listen, they've played us 4 times this season, all right? They couldn't beat us with 10 men, okay? They drew with us for 2 of the games. In fact, all the games ended in draws, and the only wins they got against us were actually on penalty kicks. So for me, there's no comparison between the 2 teams. The difference is they got their last. They scored their penalties, and we missed one of ours. And in fact, we missed twice if you count the other final, and that's it. Other than that, there was no comparison to the teams today. Yeah, and when people come out and say, "Oh, Liverpool with this and that," yeah, look, listen, they deserved it. In the end, they got their penalty. They obviously scored their penalty. They deserved to go and win that. We missed ours. End of story. They go and they've won it. But when people say this whole comparison thing of Liverpool are better than Chelsea, I'm sorry, I totally disagree with that because they're not. Yeah, and I think the Premiership's proved that this season, and the cup finals have proved that as well. Okay, and also the other thing we also got to take into consideration. I heard you saying earlier, I think it was you, Mo, that said Thomas Tuchel was recently blaming. He was actually coming out and for the first time. He blamed the what do you call it? Because we were sanctioned. I don't know if you can remember last week in his press conference, he did actually come out and say before the Wolves match or after the Wolves match. I think it might have been before the Wolves match. He actually said that it's getting to the players. It is getting to the players.
Yeah.
And
No,
so,
DJ, I totally agree. Sanctions from the very first second it was announced, it affected the squad. No doubt. We played it down because we had a good run of form. We played it down. I have no doubt it's affecting them. The fact that there's a new owner walking around, overseeing them training and whatnot, people are nervous. Okay, but my issue is Tuchel using these excuses, and I know people in the chat were replied to me, and I agree with them. They said Tuchel does not want to blame the players; he will blame everything else apart from the players, and I agree. It's harder to fix your relationship with the players once you start to put the blame on them. It's easier to blame the grass. It's easier to blame sanctions. It's easier to blame the fact that we played 62 games this season. You can blame those, but what I'm saying is he doesn't normally try to find excuses. He normally will put his hand up and say we didn't do enough. We didn't play well enough, and that's the Tuchel that we were used to for the for the whole of last season, the whole of when he was here, when he was managing us, and this season as well. But recently, his tone has changed, and that's what I was trying to identify. The fact that there is a change in his body language, in his reasoning and whatnot, and that is on us. On us. I mean, it's on the players. The players need to to step up and to perform. DJ, I'll come back to you, but I want to also say hello to Chris. Chris has been here for a minute.
Sorry, Chris.
So, Chris, hello to you. Welcome to the stream. Give me your thoughts, mate.
Yeah, big up everybody. First of all, pleased to be back on the Blue Lounge, best Chelsea fan channel on YouTube. Fact, I'm gutted, mate. I'm deflated. I'm not happy. I'm not going to say I'm not happy with the performance because I thought we performed to the standard that's required. Once again, lacklustre in the final third. We just cannot finish the chances when it's given to us. And look, just to touch on what DJ said there, Liverpool are not better than us. They're not miles ahead. Are they better than us in a sense of do they have a better options coming off the bench and a better first 11? Yeah, you could say so. But when it comes to on the day, they've not been better on us on the day. When it comes to the league games, 1-1, 2-2, both draws. When it comes to the cup finals, it goes down to penalties, and it's just the luck of the draw. That's the way it is. So unfortunately today, with Azpilicueta's penalty when he hits the bar and Mason Mount, yeah, mate, I'm gutted with just the lacklustre finishing in the final third. How many chances do we need? Lukaku, that when he hits it and when he gets the chance, right? And I don't know who was he trying to chip. He chipped it over, and I think Konate heads it out, or Van Dijk at the time. And then he gets the ball and he hits it straight over the crossbar. Pulisic's decision making was poor today. He has options to pass it to Mount. He has options to get the shot away, and he holds the ball and waits for all the Liverpool players to get up into their box. Poor. Chalobah, you know what? I was very surprised at Chalobah today. I felt that he handled the expectations today. I felt that he defended very well, better than what I expected. That's why I put Azpilicueta in the team. Fair play to Chalobah. Reece James, unbelievable. I thought Kovacic done well considering the injury he picked up against Leeds. And I hear people criticising Mendy. I don't understand the criticism at all, because for me, I don't understand it. Mendy's not taking the penalties. People are talking about putting his head down and not having his head up. What's that got to do with anything? At the end of the day, he saved Mane's penalty and Mount missed the penalty. So he doesn't take the penalties. So overall, Mo, I'm gutted, I'm deflated, I'm disappointed. The season's over. We've got top four. We're not going to finish at the top four. We need a point out of Leicester and Watford. Let's just focus on the summer. Big summer needed. back Tuchel. I feel sorry for Tuchel actually, because out of the finals that we've got, it's just a lackluster finishing. So in the summer, we need to improve our finishing, and we need to bring in a player that can actually put that ball in the back of the net. Because if we had the likes of a Haaland or Lewandowski or a Kane,
Yeah,
mate, let me tell you
100%.
something, we would be doing a lot better than what we'd be doing now. So, yeah, we need winners. We need people that can put the ball in the back of the net. I'm disappointed, mate. I'm not angry because we performed well. I'm just disappointed that we've got to this point again where we're just saying, wow, if he took his chance, it's just got to the point where we're back to square one. Trophyless season. Chelsea, well, I mean, we won the Super Cup and the Club World Cup, but trophyless in terms of the majors, like the Premier Leagues and the Champions Leagues. And we should have won the FA Cup and we should have won the League Cup if we took our chances, mate. I'm just, it's frustrating. It's annoying. It's annoying.
Sorry, Mo. So can I just ask Mo, who was actually blaming Mendy today? I don't understand that. Who was actually blaming Mendy for today? Because he did nothing wrong today.
Mendy hasn't been performing to the standard that we know he can perform to. Today Mendy
has been shaky.
Today, I mean, the save against Mane, fantastic save.
Yeah.
His goal kick in the first 5 minutes of the game, which gave Liverpool so things like that. To be fair to Mendy, he didn't really have to do all that much, because Liverpool were poor when it came to their finishing as well. Today it wasn't our defense that was keeping them out. It was their lackluster attack that was keeping them out, and the same for us. If we were playing better, if our attackers were a little bit more clinical, we would have won this game easy.
Mm-hmm.
We would have scored 2-3 goals, and we would have won that game with no issues. Our attackers are what let us down, and for them, it's the same thing. I love Mohamed Salah. I think he's a fantastic player. But the fact that he could have finished.
Oh
he
my
could have
God,
finished the
Diaz.
game. I was pleased. I was pleased to see him off the pitch, because Mohamed Salah is a dangerous player. Okay, and the fact that they missed him, Diaz, I agree. Diaz, Mane,
What a player.
They have even Jota. They have some good players. What's his name? Firmino on the bench.
Firmino.
They have got a fantastic attack. Liverpool have got a fantastic attack, but again, and this is where I agree with Tuchel about the amount of fixtures. It's not an excuse; it's a fact. Liverpool are knackered, and so are Chelsea. I think we played one game more than Liverpool all season. I think we played 62, and they played 61, or we played 61 and they played 60. Something along those lines, yeah? Okay, so, I believe for the sake of football, they need to start to do something about these fixtures, man. They want to add more games to the Champions League. Are you crazy?
Exactly.
Are you crazy? I mean, I want to see players able to perform at their highest potential. Thiago Silva needed crutches by the end of the game, man.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, our players are getting tired. Like, this is not good for football. I'm serious. This is not good for football.
Can I say something here? That Chris seems to think that top 4 is guaranteed. I can assure you that it is not.
Well, why is it not, Bobby?
The way these players are, we have to really pray and hope that they can indeed get that point that they need. Because right now, anything can happen. The only thing I'm looking for going forward is strength. If I don't see strength this summer, I'll just give up. Really. I want strong buys, decision making. And if Marina's here and F's around with buying players, I'll be so pissed that in every single stream I'm on, I will go straight for the jugular. This is part of our problem. We could have had some decent players, but messing around in the transfer market left us with a bunch of weaklings and worthless players like Saul and indeed Lukaku. We've got to be strong this summer. We've got to clear out a lot of dead wood and get some serious players for Tuchel to work with. It's as simple as that. And we've got to stop whinging when players are on the bench. Look at Liverpool. Firmino comes off. Jota comes off the bench. I mean, they've got strength in depth. Some serious attacking players sat there and their fans do not say a word. But Chelsea fans are busy bothering about, oh, this player hasn't had game time, send him off. And then they pander to all the media nonsense about people going away to Dortmund or to this, instead of just shutting it down. If we're not serious and strong in the market this summer, then forget it. We're going right back to square one. Losing to Liverpool in this way, the first time, okay, it's lucky. The second time, it just shows that they have greater mental strength than we do. And to me, that's a big problem.
Well, the reason why, Bobby,
can
I
I
said
add-
top four, the reason why I say top four is guaranteed is because our next two games are Leicester and Watford. Is Leicester going to be a difficult game? I don't see it as, because Brendan Rodgers, for me, I think this season he's shown his depth as a manager.
just
Look
that,
at
you
what
know.
Wolves did.
No,
Chris,
let me
not
finish what I'm
just
saying.
that.
Let me reply to your statement, yeah? And as for Watford, they're relegated. They're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out. Well, we only need one more point to guarantee top four, right?
And
So we're going
not
to get
just
top four.
even that. Arsenal as well, they've got difficult fixtures, you know, that they could still even drop points in. So that's even, you know,
Yeah.
a plus for
Yeah,
us.
exactly. And also,
It
can I
looks
just say as well, Bobby's absolutely spot on. Was somebody that I had, and I was annoyed actually before the game because people were saying when Havertz wasn't in the squad, oh, where's Havertz? Why is Havertz not in the team? Well, guess what? Use your head, use your brain, and realise the reason why Havertz is not in the squad is because he's injured. Why is Tuchel leaving him out? He's not going to leave him out because of whatever. He's leaving him out because of one reason. He's either ill or he's injured. I'm sick of people putting players first before the club. It's
Spot
Chelsea
on.
Football Club, not
Spot on.
Havertz
Spot
Football
on.
Club.
Yeah.
Listen,
And
that
because we
is
don't have that.
that is a massive point. That's a massive point. And
Yeah.
this is why we as a fan base need to wake up. We
Yeah.
need to wake up and we need to support the team, not the player. All right.
Exactly.
And not only support the team and not the player, but at the same time, don't hate on the player. I mean, DJ Sav just came in and said, you know, he's sick and tired of people hating on Mason Mount. Spot on. Mason Mount made a mistake in that penalty kick. But how many top class strikers make a mistake in a penalty kick, in a final, it happens. It happens.
My
The
name is
fact that people, the reason people hate on Mount is not because he made that mistake. I mean, I said he should have got in the top bins. You know, I criticize. But the people who are hating on him, it's not because he missed a penalty. It's because they would rather see somebody else playing than Mason Mount. And that is the problem. For you to support Chelsea Football Club, support your team, your manager, and whoever he picks. The fact that you are trolling a player just because you want to see another player in the squad, it's a mistake.
Exactly.
It's a problem for me.
Yeah, but I don't really
Spot
understand
on.
if, for example, today, Loftus came on instead of as a first nine, and we all know we have Barkley in that team, and you can see it as soon as Loftus is not a type of player that press. So I was thinking Loftus is going to play in fact a 8, and we're going to be pressing with Mount and Pulisic, but it was completely not. It was Loftus play as a center forward, and then Mount and Pulisic playing behind him a little in those midfield. That's what it looks like. So then the game become too easy for Liverpool. We all every time Liverpool has the ball, we come to our half and wait for them to come with the ball because Loftus cannot press. So a substitution like that, I will criticize it. It doesn't mean that I want Barkley to play for Loftus Cheek. No, I don't have any agenda. I just when I saw that substitution and the way the whole thing is set up, I was just like, no, Loftus kill our game. Van Dijk is not on the pitch. Salah is not on the pitch. When do we have that chance again? Where those two are not on the pitch? We have 30 minutes. That's just after when the 90 minutes are over, and we have 30 minutes to attack them, and that's what we've been given.
Can I?
Loftus-Cheek as a centre forward. It doesn't
Yeah,
make any sense to me. We need to
yeah,
go at them at that time. So,
exactly.
and
Listen,
then after
you
that, Loftus-Cheek came down, and to be honest, I was thinking Werner should come on. Okay, why Werner is not coming on
injured.
instead of?
Werner's injured. Werner's injured.
Yeah, I know
Werner's
that. I
injured.
know.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know that now. After I watched the post,
Yeah,
Yeah.
can
but
I say
me,
something about
Loftus-Cheek has no business playing as a striker. The kid is talented. Yeah, we try to use him as a defensive midfielder. He did his best there. Now today we use him at the first line. That is just it's never going to give us any pressure when we should go after the game and take the win. So for me, when I criticize a player, it's not because I'm not supporting Chelsea Chief. It's not because I have an agenda or I want. No, I just don't understand it. Even today, when I saw the lineup with Lukaku up front and with exactly the same team that we use against Leeds, I'm just like, are we going to tell? Is someone telling me Leeds and Liverpool are the same team? Yeah, you can use this formation to beat Leeds, but this same formation, what are they going to do against Liverpool? But then I'm like, okay. Then when I check the team or whatever you call it, Harvey was not even on the bench. So I was like, now something is happening. Now I understand why Lukaku started. From that point on, I was just supporting Lukaku at that time. I was just supporting. But if I know Havertz on the bench and Lukaku was missing, if you give him a chance, I would just keep yelling at Lukaku till the end of the game. That's what I will do.
But you can understand why Tuchel
And
picked Lukaku, though.
no one here will tell me I'm not just a fan or that person is losing his mind.
I want to bring in Hawkins. Hawkins, what do you say?
Yeah, yeah. So I've wanted to say a lot, but I think I've even you guys have made the summary of most of it. You guys have made the summary of most of it. I think I also hear Boogie when he's saying that we could have, changed the tempo of the game on Liverpool. We should have, brought more players, considered more players in the front. I do not even know why we still ended up bringing in Azpi. I thought we could have even brought in a midfield, another midfielder, and make it like much more players in the opposition area of the field. I think if you give Tuchel a chance to play this game again, he wouldn't just want to sit back just because we played five back, yeah. And at the end of the day, we still considered like crazy chances that could have ended up in the back of the net. We didn't consider goal today because we were lucky. That was the reason why we didn't consider goal. We had two chances hit our woodwork. We had so many clear-cut chances. We had so many poor decisions from the Liverpool attackers. Like we should have swallowed loads of goals today. We were lucky in the first place to not be behind by a very huge number of goals. And as well for us, we also missed a couple of chances. But I felt like at some point we should have just taken the game to them. We should have just tried to overload the midfield. We should have just tried to get something out of the game. But otherwise, we understand why we set up the way we set up. We know like our defense is not really strong when you take each player one for one. We're not really on point, so we just tend to play that five back. We tend to play so many defenders. So I think at the end of the day, you could understand the result. You could understand the result. We're lacking strong players in some fields. And also, there's also an issue I wanted to raise the fact that Lukaku started up front. I thought we knew Lukaku was going to start up front. I don't know, maybe because of the injuries or something, but we kind of had an idea it was going to start. And the thing is, when it starts, of course, we cannot pressure the opponents. I think we said the same thing here yesterday. We can't press them high. We can't press them. We're going to give them chances to be able to break through our not good enough midfield and the defense. So I felt like if we had even a stronger team, a stronger midfield, a stronger defense, we wouldn't even be talking about Lukaku pressing or something. It wouldn't even be an issue because we're still strong enough to go 9 man for 9 man, or even, in fact, 8 men for 8 men. So, but of course, the way we are right now, everyone needs to be involved when we're playing against a top team. Everyone needs to be pressing, everyone needs to be defending, everyone needs to be intact for us to get points out of these big games. And the last thing about Mendy, what we're trying to say about Mendy is not that he's been playing so bad. The thing is, he's been looking out of touch. He's been looking out of touch. He's been looking like someone suffering from confidence, some mentality issues because
Fatigue.
yeah, fatigue. Yeah, because when you play the ball back to Mendy, you will see it's not fluid at all. Like he doesn't know how to receive the ball, talk less of how to then distribute it back into the pitch. So it feels like sometimes when he needs to come out to take the ball, he just stays back. There's this. He's just out of touch. He's out of tune. He's really, really out of tune. So I think that's basically my observations. I still have more, but I would say that's
Yeah,
what to go on.
we're gonna be here all night. We're gonna be here all night. So
Yeah.
Can I please just throw in one more grenade into all this?
Before you throw your grenade, I'm gonna throw my grenade, and then I'll let you throw your grenade, and then we'll go to Podfather and let's see what grenades he has to throw. But the most dangerous player on that pitch today was Luis Diaz. And I think, how much did they get him for? I'm trying to remember. It was what was it? 40, right?
40 million. 40 million.
40 million. And how much are they paying him?
70,000.
No, 60,000.
Yeah, 60,000 a week. Yes.
They're paying him 60,000 a week, and they got him for 40 million.
And he's willing to
I'm
keep
just saying. Talking about, people love to defend a certain person. Look at how Liverpool is scouting. Look at the quality Liverpool is bringing in. This man, he was running all around that pitch, creating chances, taking shots. He was their most dangerous player. And when he was substituted, he didn't want to get off that pitch. While our £100 million player couldn't wait to get off that pitch. I'm just saying, that's my grenade. Let me hear from Bobby.
Well, just before I throw my grenade, to add to what you're saying, our scouting or so-called scouting team, Scott McLaughlin, etc., who they have scouted apparently is Christian Perisic, or a 33-year-old almost has-been. There's people like Darwin Núñez out there who could be like this Liverpool player you're talking about. There's so many really good, young, cheap players that won't come and bust the wage structure. Yet, okay, it's on a free, a has-been player that's going to come on super wages. This is the sort of crap scouting we've come down to. However, having said all this and all the issues that are undoubtedly ours in the club, I've got to say this. Where in the world? We're supposed to have the best footballing product in the world. Yet we have a situation where the football authorities, the media, and now the government have inhibited a top team. I can't see any value in the Premier League as a league right now. If that happened to anybody else, and maybe Chelsea won the league or won the FA Cup, we wouldn't hear the end of it. They would keep bringing this thing up. Yet for some reason now we know why, we've got it all swept under the carpet. I think that's another unacceptable situation. What happened to Chelsea? I think they owe us. They should cripple other teams next season like this, and let's see if they'll even survive. I've said it's a miracle we are where we are. It is an absolute miracle. And now that has destabilized the team. One of the strongest players that we have, he's gone. Now, how can we even have that solidity that we once had with his mind preparing for his new club? And as much as I've attacked Marina, at least she didn't have that last opportunity to make a bid for this guy because we were hamstrung. I don't think that's acceptable either. And I think fans should start to speak up about this nonsense. Okay, you took the club from the owner, whatever, for whatever reasons you have with the owner. Must you cripple the club? Stop it from doing business? Stop it from getting players in? There must have been other ways. You could have put the money maybe in some frozen account or something. They have played a part in Chelsea's destiny at the end of the season. And I think that is extremely, extremely bad. That's foul play completely.
Yep. Before I go to Podfather, I want to address this comment here by Dexter, and it's in respect to what you said about Perisic. Perisic does make sense because of what Dexter is saying here. He covers multiple positions. He's a good player. He's able to bring experience, etc., etc. I agree with all of that, but I also agree with Bobby in respect to this is another player who's at the end of his career, twilight of his career. He doesn't have what's the word here? A long-term. He isn't a long-term solution for Chelsea Football Club. He will come in. He will fill in a role. Yes, he is going to be a free transfer. Yes, he is also going to be on a potentially quite a low contract. From what I understand, Inter Milan offered him 92,000 euros a week, and he refused it. So I'm guessing if Chelsea offer him £90,000 a week, he'll probably accept it.
Because his legs are gone.
And he's going to be able to adapt to a few different positions. He can play as a midfielder, a wing back, a full back, also a left mid. But I agree with you, Bobby. He's not going to be a long term fix.
I just want to say something real quick.
Go on, Julius.
He's gonna be player of the season for Inter this season. He will be.
Sorry, Julius, did you say he's going to be player of the season?
Yes.
For Inter.
Yeah.
For Inter.
He's their best player this season.
For Inter.
Can I add something?
I'm going to remind you of another player who was very good at Inter, who's currently at Chelsea. We're not very happy about him. We're not happy with him. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you can't compare Lukaku to Perisic. To be honest, like if you watch Perisic with Inter, and you watch Lukaku with Inter, you would see the difference. Even talk to Inter fans. Perisic is the reason this season Inter is competing and winning even trophies.
Perisic is a good player. He's a good player. I've seen him play. I like the way he plays. I think he's smart. He's a silver, but on the wing. He plays with his head rather than his body. Physicality, etc., etc. Because of his age. But I think Perisic scored in the World Cup final. I'm not doubting how good Perisic is. I'm just saying he's old. And all players on the wing are not going to be fantastic. Let me just bring in 1 second. Who's this?
There's Podfather.
Yeah, I'm about to give you the because for some reason your logo isn't flashing when you're speaking. I don't know why. Podfather, welcome to the stream. Let me hear your thoughts and opinions on the game and the topics we were talking about. Take it away, brother.
Yeah. Okay, so I wasn't actually going to come on, but you guys have inspired me. I was going to give it a rest today, but loads of interesting debate going on. As usual, the autopsy begins. It's the end of the season. We bury it and we keep moving. So my thoughts on the situation at hand. I just want to say in terms of Perisic, the funny thing is he's 33. Yes. And I promise you he's faster than every winger we've got. That says it all. He's quicker, he's more athletic, more fit than every winger we've got.
Yeah, but is he going to be fit next season? We know what he's done in the past, but he's 33 going on 34.
I hear you, Bobby, but he's still quicker than every winger we've got, which means all our wingers are trash. They can't beat nobody. They can't go past anybody. He play, and he's going to be playing left wing back. Yeah, it will come on a free. It'll be his wages. I guarantee will probably be below 100,000. It's a smart short term signing, but obviously it doesn't get us what we want unless it comes with other signings. So obviously he's not a marquee signing. He's not the main signing. He's just one of many that we need. You know,
he's just one for the squad.
I will say it would be a mistake to bring Perisic to Chelsea. He's old. He's going to be 34.
Did you also say the same about Silva?
I'm gonna say this. In respect to Perisic, it depends on what we are looking to do in this window. Because if we are looking to buy or to bring in 4 or 5 players, then potentially 2 or 3 of those players, in my opinion, will be free transfers. Okay, and the players that we are going to be paying for are going to be marquee players, i.e. the 80 million, 70 million kind of transfer targets. For example, a Chouameni, a Koundé, a Koulibaly, Declan Rice. Okay, so we will be bringing in a few players who I believe will be free transfers. So Perisic, maybe Dembele, maybe Dybala, maybe these names, they're not the names that we'd ideally want to bring in. But at the same time, these are players that you are going to bring in if you are going to go for a couple of marquees. And I also believe that we are going to sell quite a few players. Not only are we losing Christensen and Rudiger, but we potentially will be selling Alonso, potentially be selling other players. And I think we are, we do need to look at the likes of Perisic, who will be able to give us something on the wing, and maybe he'll be here for a couple of seasons.
Mo, he will be able to give us something on it. We need player. Can he play? Can he just make that position his? That's my question. I just don't.
No.
I'm having problem with everybody saying, "Oh, we let's just Perisic in. He will give us something a few games." And no, Liverpool, Chelsea, we have Reece James. Next season, Reece James will make that position, that wing back position he is. He should be able at least to play for. We're not even in the World Cup and all those crap anymore. He should be able. He should be able to play 50 games or like the 60 games that season without really getting crapped up or anything. If we have a second choice, someone else can take his position once in a while. But Reece James should be able to play 50 games. We're investing in Perisic. Is he gonna play 50 games? Yes or no? If not, we don't bring it. Let's just go with people that can actually make that position theirs. We have Alonso. People keep criticizing Alonso have to go. Day after day, game after game, Alonso is proven he is one of the top left wing back in that position. Today you can see it. There's no joke about it. People can talk.
Boogie, listen, yeah.
No. Let me finish this, and then you can take it. You can take it with you. Perisic is not gonna give us 50 games, a high intensity in Premier League. We don't need it. Let's go with a proper target. We spend the money, we bring them in, and they take that position. They make it theirs, or they compete for it, and they take it theirs. They make that position here theirs. We know all those temporary solutions. We go to turn Chelsea FC into Manchester United. People just because they were good in this league, the 35, the 30, the 29, the 31.
One second.
Let's just use the temporary.
One second, Boogie. Nepin, go check your Twitter DM. I've sent you the link. Carry on, Boogie. Sorry.
Yeah, we need to stop those way of looking at this guy can give us something. We're not looking for something right now. We have a lot of something in this team. Pulisic, he gave us something. Ziyech, he gave us something. We want people that are complete. You take the ball, you dribble to 1, 2, 3, you can score. Mason Mount, he gave us something. He can defend, he can press everything, but he cannot score. We want player that can do everything, not something. Don't bring Perisic to do us something. We don't need him for that. He's 34 years old. He can stay in Syria. And the worst about this whole thing is he has no EPL experience. Why do we want to bring a 34 years old to come and play for us in EPL? And we are happy he will give us something. We don't need something at this point.
Boogie. Boogie, this guy is put in Champions League finals, World Cup finals.
I
He
don't
doesn't
give a
need.
nut.
He doesn't need EPL experience. The people
I
with
don't give a
EPL.
nut. He's give us
Listen,
something.
Boogie. The people with EPL experience. This team, yeah. Alonso is one of those players. One very good game every 4 or 5 games. That's what he is. Yeah.
That's
And
something.
and listen, Alonso now limits the way you can play because you can't
Oh
leave him
God,
one-on-one
no.
to defend anybody if he's playing against a pacey winger. I'm telling you that this season,
Alonso was not a problem today. Alonso was not a problem today. Policy
Yeah,
have done what he can do. You can say he missed chances. He has done what he can do at least at the end of the day. Lukaku did what we know Lukaku can do. There's no surprise there. The problem is we have players that can do something. Not all of them. Know exactly what we need them to do. All
yeah,
doing something.
yeah,
I have enough of that. Those stuff.
yeah. We
Can't
need players. We need players that can literally
Jorginho,
Yeah,
do
but
everything.
Perisic
all
isn't
can
the
do
only player we're
something.
getting. Come on, man.
Yeah, we need players that can actually do everything. We need to scout well. We need strong
Yeah,
players
take
in
our time. No
every
temporary solution all the
in
time. Let's just take our
every
time. Bring
field
the
in the
proper player in
positions.
it.
If you want to be
Any
a
player
left
that.
back,
Sorry,
be
yeah, go
able
ahead.
to defend, be able to attack, be able to cross, be able to do all of these things. Chilwell is a good example, a very strong attacking, defensive, supporting left back. Could also play in left wing back. Rhys James is also one. Like even the centre backs right now, we also need that thing so that we could play different formations, different shapes that we need to win to get results from the games. We need those kind of players. Now we're stuck to playing 5 back systems because when we swap to a 4 back system, we're just even worse than even in the 5 back system. We need players that we can play anything. They're solid in all areas, and I think that's what the scouts should be working on
And
right
Bobby
now.
said the mental also. This kid are just weak. We don't have a leader. Okay, Lukaku is a leader. That says everything, man.
All right, lads. I want to say hello to a guest, first time on the Blue Lounge. So big up to Nippin. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Blue Lounge. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
My
Well,
pleasure.
apart from the
Nippin,
football, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm actually disappointed in you, man. You're wearing a red shirt today.
It's a Spain shirt.
Where's the
Oh, it's
Chelsea
Spain.
shot?
I haven't got
Nippon,
one.
where's your? Well, I'm surprised, Nippon. Usually, bruv. Where's your shirt? You usually wear your Chelsea shirt, and you not got one, bruv.
Not yet. I'll get one when I
I'm
start
so-
working.
Oh,
But I
come
have
on.
this.
Big up
I
to you.
have this.
Big up, Nippin. Nippin,
So whenever
I
someone
know
says
you
why
were-
you in a red
you
shirt,
went-
I just show them I have this.
Did you go to the match? Because I think you said you were going to go to the match today.
I went to the fan zone.
All right, tell me your thoughts on the game, mate. Tell me your thoughts on the game.
It was look, it's the same old. We keep missing our chances, and it comes back to bite us. This time it wasn't the ref at all.
Yeah. So you think we underperformed or did Liverpool overperform?
Sorry?
Do you think we lost the game because we underperformed, or is it because Liverpool overperformed? I mean, do you think it was our fault, or we were just beaten by the better team?
Look, it's a penalty shootout, and that's a lottery at the end of the day.
You don't think we could have finished it in the 90 minutes? We had the chances.
Yeah, look, we had the chances. Look, if you put a striker like Kane or Lewandowski or Benzema instead of Lukaku, he buries all those chances Lukaku missed. Either of those three players I mentioned bury those chances.
All right. Thank you, Nippin. Stick around. We'll join the conversation, join the debate. I want to say a thank you to Andrew for your super chat. Andrew, thank you for sending the super chat. And the question, I want to open it to the panel. Andrew's saying, good evening to you all. We should be looking at players who can challenge the regulars for their respective positions, not stop gaps. So he's talking about getting players who can come in and give Lukaku a one for his money, Reece James a one for his money, rather than bringing in players who are just going to be fillers. So what do you guys think about that? And if you agree, who would you bring in?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, so yeah, we should be bringing in players that are challenging the first team. We should be bringing in players that will be making an impact. This is when we talk about the quality of our squad depth. I mean, I'm talking about Liverpool. The auction today, Mo, you even said it, coming off the bench. They're bringing off, they can bring off the likes of Diaz if he's not starting. They can bring off the likes of Jota. You know what I mean? They can bring off Matip. We're bringing off poor players, mate. We're bringing on players that are given a pass because they came from Cobham, like Hudson-Odoi, that offers nothing in the final third. Pulisic, who's always injured. Werner, who I like the guy, but we brought him in to score goals and he doesn't do it. So yeah, we should be doing that. We should be bringing in players that challenge the first team. But people are criticising this Perisic signing, and my big question to them is: the people that are questioning the Perisic signing, is it my first choice? Of course it's not. Is it going to be the only player we're bringing in? Of course it's not. But I always state we back Tuchel. People that are stating that they back Tuchel and then moaning about this transfer, well, what one is it? Because at the end of the day, if Tuchel wants this play, you've got to get behind that signing. Perisic.
I don't know what your name is. But
yeah, my name's
what's your
Chris,
name?
mate. Yeah,
Sorry,
Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris. But are you sure it's a Tuchel signing, Perisic?
Yes, I do. Because
And not
I
a
think
board signing.
No,
Do you
I don't
think
think it would
Tuchel
be.
asked the board? Do you think Tuchel handpicked? Do you think Tuchel went up to the board and said, "I want Perisic"?
Oh yeah, I would say that it's a Tuchel signing. Yes, just the exact same as Thiago Silva was a Frank Lampard signing. Yes, people are moaning about Thiago Silva's age. People are moaning about Perisic's age. At the end of the day, if Perisic comes in and does a job, people won't be talking about his age. Just the exact same as people's not talking about Thiago Silva's age. So yes, we should be bringing in players. To answer Andrew's question, we should be bringing in players to challenge the first team. But at the end of the day, if you're claiming to back Tuchel, get behind Tuchel in his signings instead of moaning for the sake of moaning.
Listen, if that's the case, let's just every time you start the Blue Lounge, we just listen to Tuchel press conference. We shut down the channel and we go home. If we cannot have our own
Who said you can't have a say?
So my point is this: Tuchel, backing Tuchel.
No, I mean, but you've been moaning about Lukaku all week, man.
Lukaku was bought under Tuchel, and Lukaku cost her 100
No, I never
million
said
pounds.
that. I never said don't question it.
And he can't even use them.
I never said question.
Backing Tuchel. What are we doing?
No, Biggie man. You say you back Tuchel. If Perisic is a Tuchel signing and you're moaning for the sake of moaning, and you say it's not a good signing, well, you're not backing him, are you? You're not backing him if he wants Perisic.
So Tuchel bought Lukaku, right?
No, I don't think he did. No.
Oh, you don't think now?
I don't think he did.
Yeah,
no, I don't
right.
think.
No,
Did they want Lukaku? Of course he did. Biggie man. The fact is, mate, you don't give credit where it's due. You've criticised Lukaku all week after he's been on form. You've got an agenda against Lukaku, and you've got an agenda against Tuchel. You don't give credit where it's due. It's simple as that.
Backing
You don't give
Tuchel.
credit.
What does that mean exactly? Backing Tuchel.
Backing Tuchel. You're behind his decisions. You're behind his signings.
But his decision of bringing Lukaku in.
What? He never wanted Lukaku.
Boogeyman. Do you think Lukaku is a Tuchel signing?
Lukaku was signed under Tuchel.
No, do you think he's a Tuchel signing? Do you think he's a Tuchel signing?
I'll say so.
You think he wanted Lukaku?
And there's no way a coach that won the Champions League and the board decided to spend 100 million pounds and they didn't consult him. He knows about Lukaku coming. Of course, they try hard. We all know this.
But there's a difference. Sorry.
At the end of the day, I don't understand the
Boogie. There's a difference between consulting someone and asking for someone. I mean, I can say I want a panelist who can come and express their views professionally on the Blue Lounge. Okay, and then they said to me, okay, we'll give you Boogeyman. Okay, thank you. I have not asked for Boogeyman. I have asked for a panelist who can come in and do a good job on the Blue Lounge. They said to me, Boogeyman, he can do that. I'm like, okay, if you think he can do that, I don't know Boogeyman. If you think he can do that, all right, let's have him. It could have been like this. You know what? I want Chris. Chris plays for Borussia Dortmund. He's a young striker. He's doing really well. I want Chris, and then he'd be like, yeah, but Chris would have cost us too much. We'll give you Boogeyman.
Exactly.
Like, all right, and that's what's happened.
I don't
I
think so.
think Tuchel wanted Erling Haaland. Tuchel pushed for
Okay,
Erling
we
Haaland.
all.
Unfortunately, that didn't pan out. He got Lukaku, and he's doing the best that he can with him.
No,
Perisic,
more. Then what I'm saying, nobody's trying to follow what I'm trying to say. We all know who we went for, and it didn't work. That's Haaland. It didn't work. So you are you telling me if the board say, okay, we went to Haaland, we didn't get him. Now Lukaku is the second option. We're getting Lukaku because he can come to you. And look, Tuchel say, I don't want him. I just want the Champions League. I want to build up for this team. I don't want Lukaku. Who on this panel will tell me that Tuchel will be forced to take Lukaku? I think it doesn't happen.
Would you say that though? Would you say that you're a coach of a team who doesn't have an out-and-out striker, and they offer you a striker who has just won the league in Italy?
And you're not a leader. Don't you know the coach?
You're gonna say no? Are you gonna say no?
Say no. You just say it doesn't fit my conception of the game. He does not fit it. Say it. And they will not give it. And you can go out and tell everybody in the press conference that in fact we didn't get Haaland. We decided to wait till Haaland become available. That's simple as that. That's what being manager is.
So Boogeyman, what is the main problem here? Is Tuchel now the main problem? Or is it that...
I don't care. What I'm saying is this. Someone just told me, let me put it this way. Someone just is telling me that Perisic that we're hearing on the Twitter that is going to be signed by Chelsea is Tuchel signing, or Tuchel is...
By the way, you can say my name. I'm right here. You can say my name, by the way.
Back into... Can you just wait till I finish?
Mention my name if you say someone. Yeah, don't just say someone said. Say my name. I said that.
No,
say my name.
I don't care about your name. Someone on this panel, it hurt you or not? Someone on this panel said Tuchel buying Perisic is backing Tuchel. And I think it was Nippon that was asking, are you sure that Perisic will be Tuchel signing? That person said, yeah, I'm 100% sure. And I said, I don't think so, because there's no proof of it. I don't think Tuchel, the guy that wants high intensity football, will ask for Perisic. I just don't see him I don't see any connection between the way he's trying to play. So then when the question is, no, if Perisic is signed right now, it's because Tuchel asked for it. Then I say, okay, then Lukaku was signed when Tuchel was manager.
I'm sorry, Boogeyman, but it's 100% clear you've never watched Perisic, because if you compare,
I watch him. Even if I don't watch, I watch World Cup. I watch European Championship.
Look, Perisic is perfect with how Tuchel plays football. Perfect. Lukaku, it's so obvious he does not fit the system. We knew this way before we signed him. He doesn't fit the system. But the thing is, what Mo was saying, if one of your managers and one of the leaders at the club is coming to Thomas Tuchel telling him, okay, listen, we have to bring Lukaku. You either work with Lukaku or no, or we're not getting anyone. Tuchel's going to be like, sure, bring him. I'm not paying from my pocket. Bring him. I'm going to take an extra striker,
Then Tuchel is a bad manager.
Why?
No. Sorry. He's not a bad manager, Boogeyman.
What do you want me to tell you? You have the credit in your pocket. You just won the Champions League with a team.
Boogeyman, listen, bro. No, let me just say something to you, bro. I just want to. I think we all know how Chelsea Football Club is run. Yeah. The managers are not the ones who sign the players. Okay, they are recommend. What it is a manager can go to the board and say, I want this player. But if the scouting team, from what I understand and what I've heard in the last couple of days, if it's true, I don't know. Apparently, the scouting team were the ones that did not want Erling Haaland. Apparently, said he was not good enough yet for the rest for him to come to Chelsea. How true that is, I don't know. Okay, that's what I read on a few tweets going about on the situation with Perisic. Right? Okay, we all know that Thomas Tuchel wanted Haaland. Haaland first of all was his first option last season, not Lukaku. The board were the ones that then said, okay, we're not going to get you Haaland because for whatever reason it was, they said that, he's obviously the board
financially unviable.
Financially unviable. And also the other thing is apparently he's not ready to come to the Premiership yet. That's the rumours that came out the last couple of days. How true that is, I do not know. Okay?
It's not true.
On the Perisic situation, all right, he wanted Perisic, I do believe, was it in January? Last year or for a while he's wanted Perisic, and apparently he fits the plans of what he wants to do going forward. Whereas with Lukaku, I think we all know on this panel, Lukaku was not the guy he really wanted. But because the board is saying this is who we're going to give you, you either have it or whatever. So he's okay. I need a striker, and he's had to go along with it.
Perisic DJ is similar to what James Miller is for Liverpool.
Yeah, he's a top player. I know he's a good player, mate. I wanted him to come.
Exactly. He's not going to be a starter, or he's not going to be someone we're going to rely on. He's a good depth player, and he's not going to cost much, and his wages are not going to be high. I'm not against signing him.
Julius, next season, Ben Chilwell needs time. He needs someone to be able to fill in with him. And I think Perisic would be the perfect buffer.
Exactly.
Because Perisic's experience, he has, and at this point here by ITM, he already has the chemistry with Lukaku. Okay, Lukaku isn't going nowhere. Lukaku will be here next season.
Yeah.
I do not see Todd Bowley, a person who has, a very keen business mind, is going to sell a player who we bought for 100 million. After 12 months, you're selling for 50 million. He ain't going to do that.
Look, from a business point of view, there is a very strong case to sell him. If you want to calculate his wages over the next 3-4 years, and the risk keeping him, whether he and take a gamble, let's say, or risk if he's going to perform or no.
Sell him for half the price.
You have an option. You sell him half the price, make 50 million back, plus whatever you paid for him minus whatever you paid for him this season, or 100 mil plus all his wages, and he doesn't deliver. So the losses we keeping him could be bigger if he does not perform, and there is a big risk.
I see the point. I see your point.
The other thing I want to say regarding Lukaku and Haaland, I didn't know how much he was getting paid by City, but I just looked at 375. So this whole thing about not financially viable, and I remember they said, 500 a week is crazy, we can't do this. Nonsense. It's Chelsea again making the decisions on behalf of the manager and putting the manager on the spot. This is what is available. This is what we're getting. This is what we think, and our scouting and whoever is involved think is good business and good value for the club. And you have one option. Two options. You either work with Lukaku, we'll bring him in, or we're not bringing anyone. Look, Tuchel will not say don't bring anyone. He's gonna want to bring someone in because he sold Tammy Abraham. He would need a striker. So if Boogeyman, you've been watching Chelsea for the longest time. You know how the club is run. This is not the first time. Mourinho was in the same situation. Conte was in the same situation. Ancelotti was in the same situation.
Yeah, but I understand all that. But how do we sit here and say Perisic is the Tuchel signing and not the board signing? If Chelsea has always been run, if the board is always the one making all decisions, now we think to say, Perisic coming is Tuchel signing. That's why I don't understand it.
What I want to clarify, Boogeyman, is we know that the board, they make most of the signings, but of course there's going to be signings here and there that are going to be picked by the manager as long as they're not expensive. If you notice, most of the big signings we've made at Chelsea was a corporate signing. They make those big decisions when there is a lot of money involved. Perisic is a free player. He's not going to be on high wages. Tuchel says, I want Perisic. Okay, no problem. Easy. Done. But if Tuchel comes out and say, I want Haaland, that's not up to him, unfortunately. If Tuchel comes out and say, I want Lewandowski is going to be expensive. Not up to him. We're talking only about big names as well. What about, look at Liverpool. When they paid, how much did they pay for Jota? 50, 60 mil? I thought that was expensive. For a player, I'm not sure. I don't know much about him. But it's so clear, it's handpicked by Klopp. And Boogeyman, please think about it this way. Look at Klopp's team today. Almost all of it was built by Klopp alone. Look at City's team. All of it built by Pep. Can you actually say Chelsea's squad is built by Tuchel and we are the third best team in England? reached six finals under Thomas Tuchel. 6. What more do you want from the guy? I think it's harsh, very harsh.
Listen, I'm not. I'm not criticizing tonight. I'm not even criticizing Tuchel. The reason why I'm getting a little excited about this whole thing is uh, backing Tuchel just does not make sense if you're Chelsea fan, because Tuchel is never going to build a full team at Chelsea. Like people are saying, Jota was 60 million pound. I'm pretty sure if Tuchel point a player that is 60 million pound, like you said, rightly so, the board going to be too expensive. It has to be someone better than that. Because there's a known name. We're not going to spend 60 million pound on unknown name. Nobody know him. So my point is, what is backing Tuchel? Backing Tuchel that we keep saying. We keep saying. I just don't understand it. He decided to be a coach of Chelsea, so whatever the board gave him, he will take it. Or we give him a list and he pick one or two and we'll buy one or whatever is available. So that's
I think what we have to understand is that the way the board operated last season and before that is not how it's going to operate now. That is 100% for sure. We don't know yet how it is, but from the images of Todd Bowley going around speaking with coaches, if that's any kind of indicator, it'll be more involvement of the coaches, that's for sure, even with big expensive signings. Perisic, I don't know whose signing that is. I know it's part, the scouting has something to do with it. I always have concerns. People talk of Thiago Silva. Well, Thiago Silva, as fantastic as he is not playing as a wingback. Neither is he playing in the midfield. And these are high energy places in a team that plays high octane football like Chelsea. So the jury for me is still out on this whole Perisic situation. Now, going forward, I don't think the new board will have any problem ditching any of this squad if Tuchel recommends it. I think they'll be quite prepared to possibly take a loss on Lukaku because the overall investment that they've put in, I think it would supersede the current sort of players right now. What was spent before may not impact them now. They've bought the club and they have a clean slate. Now they didn't lay out that initial expenditure. So, but they've inherited it. So they can either choose to bin it or they can choose to keep it. I think for all intents and purposes, they're going to bin it. And if Lewandowski, who to me seems the only one within our reach right now, as old as he is available, we're going to have to go for it. And then or people like Darwin Nunes. We've got to be radical. Definitely the midfield. Our midfield is part of the problem. Somebody spoke earlier about this person can dribble, he'll get to the opposition's area and he can't shoot. That's all part of the problem. We have problems with the front line shooting and scoring. We have problems with the midfield supporting that effort. It all needs to be revamped, the whole thing. I'm glad, really, that Conor Gallagher is coming in next season. I hope he does, because that will be a reason to put Mount on the bench sometimes. I think Mount sometimes needs to be put on the bench and certainly should not be put on penalties because he's not ready, especially in big games like this. Mentally, he's not ready. And if he was in a more settled side, he'll be given just that little bit more time to get ready. Now he's going to have competition if Connor gets back. And I think that's going to be good for him.
Yeah, but Bobby, can I ask you a question? Do you think if I put Mason Mount in the Manchester City team, he will not be a top quality player?
If Mason Mount was put in a Man City team, yes, he would. He's a top quality player at Chelsea. He will be a better player there because there are better players around him in terms of their finishing. But
Exactly.
he
So,
will
but yes,
also,
sorry, go.
because there are better players, he'll also be given that time to develop. He won't be playing every week like he's doing here. I can assure you, Pep won't have that. Look what he does with Foden. He's not going to have that at all. He will develop and put him perhaps eventually in the seat that people like De Bruyne occupy. And that's going to take some time. So,
Yeah,
part of our problem is that we've got a lot of young players.
we're asking too much from them. We're just asking too much from the
Yes,
kid.
spot on.
That's why I
Can I
asked that
say
question.
something, please? Can I say something, please?
Sure, go ahead,
I'm
Nippin.
all for a manager getting the players he wants, because then he knows what team he's building around. I just hope the new board back him.
I think the new board have no choice but to back him. It will be suicide if they don't. In fact, they have to extend his contract, in my opinion. But even if they don't do that, they've got to show him support because he's been with the team now for a full season and a bit. And he will tell them, where the weaknesses are if they haven't seen it for themselves already, and where the strengths are and what he needs. So I think that's a given. He will be backed.
Can I play the devil advocate a little? Uh, if I was on the board right now and look at the Chelsea team and the season we had, I think we are a successful team. So if I am someone that is buying the team and I kept Marina and all those acolytes in the same position, the position they were holding before they took over, I will trust them to keep running the team the way they were running that for the last 2 or 3 years or the last 5 years.
No,
Because for
nobody's
me,
going to do that, Boogeyman. You're
yeah,
right.
but
We are an incredibly
as a
successful
fan,
team.
I don't look at my team this season that we're successful because we're fighting here, and I'm not happy with the performances. But if I'm sitting on the board, I think it was a pretty much successful team. Last season or 2 years ago or whatever you want to say, the last 10 years on the long on the long how do you say this, on a long scale, on a bigger scale, we are a successful team. So for me, if they decided to keep Marina and all those things, maybe Tuchel is not gonna they're not gonna back Tuchel the way we think they will back him. They will just keep doing the same old stuff again. Ask
No,
him, give him a
I'm
list of
gonna.
players.
no.
Yeah.
Sorry, go
One thing we're
One second, Bobby. Listen, guys. We are going to talk a lot more about the transfer, the transfer window, the transfer market. What is going to happen? We're going to be doing that a lot over the next few weeks. Once the season is over, that's all we're going to be doing, and I'm going to be bringing in people to talk to you guys about this. Some journalists. I'm working on a couple of things for the transfer window. Two things I want to address here. Firstly, this comment here by Abdul Sawari. Sawari? Yeah, he's Sawari. Give Tuchel 6 years to build his team as Klopp and Pep have done. Correct. Pep and Klopp, they are playing with the team that they have molded themselves. When they add players, when they take players out, these are the players that they have brought in. This is the team that they have built. Tuchel still has players that were from Mourinho. I think even wasn't Azpilicueta playing for Di Matteo? Was he?
No.
after the
He
Champions
came
League.
after.
After?
He came after
Yeah.
the Champions League. He came
Okay,
after the Champions League.
Yeah, so we have some players who have been here for a very, very long time, played for different system, different managers. We need to build the team that Tuchel wants, that Tuchel needs. I want to back Tuchel. I want to give Tuchel time. At the same time, I will criticize Tuchel if he makes a mistake, I will criticize it. Because if I don't, then I am being I'm not being a true fan. A true fan needs to be able to talk about his team when they are doing well and when they are doing badly. We need to address everything. I want to ask you guys a question. Look at the table ahead of you. Chelsea, I believe, will finish top 3. Chelsea, I believe, will finish top 3. We've won the Club World Cup and we've won the Super Cup. I remember at the beginning of the season, we were talking about the importance of certain trophies in certain tournaments, and I think me, Bobby, and DJ named the Club World Cup to be our most desirable trophy to win, purely for the fact that we hadn't won it. Well, we've won that, and we won the Super Cup and finished, hopefully we'll finish top 3. Has it been a successful season? And I know saying this and talking about this on the back of the FA Cup defeat might not be the best time, but I want to get to hear what you guys think. So, top 3, Super Cup, Club World Cup. Has it been a successful season? Yes, go ahead, Bobby.
Yes, sir. Look, the Club World Cup, it was crucial for us to win it. It wasn't just the icing on the cake sort of thing. That trophy gives us the passage to the top table of European and indeed world football. And as you can see, with all these plans and things that they're talking about for the future, there's always that default to the history of these clubs in the international competitions. And your history is enhanced by being a World Cup winner. That is for sure. A club of Chelsea's status needed that trophy. It is a prestige trophy at the moment, but it will continue to increase in value as the years go by. And it's important to win these things. I don't believe in wasting opportunities. This is why I'm so angry about losing an FA Cup 3 times in a row, because competitions are getting harder and there's no guarantee you'll be there next season. Now, top 3, the Club World Cup and the Super Cup, is it a successful season? Not by Chelsea standards, because we needed to either have a Premier League trophy or repeat our Champions League, or at the very least win a domestic trophy, none of which we have done. Is it an acceptable season? Of course it is. In view of all the things that was thrown at us, it's a miracle. So it's very acceptable, but we have to build from here. We have to build from here. There's going to be some tough decisions coming next season. I know you don't want to talk about transfers, but transfers for us in the summer is going to be crucial. And we're already being forced on the back foot by this government decision. They need to clear this thing up, get the owners in, and leave Chelsea alone, or they may as well cripple other teams and give us a level playing field.
Yeah, is the season a success? Of course it's not more. Chelsea standards have to be a lot higher. Look, the Club World Cup, it was great to win that because obviously we've completed the trophy cabinet, and obviously it was kind of sentimental to the fact that it was kind of the last trophy we won under Roman and to complete the trophy. So, it's been a mad season. It's not been a successful season. It's been a season that's been quite disappointing because in the 2 finals, one that we've just played in the FA Cup, we had the chances, we never took them, and here we are. We've left with no FA Cup, back to three FA Cup finals in a row we've lost now. It's not nice. It's not good. It's disappointing. League Cup, Mason Mount had the chances. Romelu Lukaku got his decision ruled out. I'm not going to speak about Liverpool paying off referees because we all know that's what they do. So overall, lads, yeah, it's been a failure of a season. But Thomas Tuchel, with what he's dealt with what he's done, look, the fact that we are still in 3rd position And I know it's nothing to brag about because you don't get a trophy for third position, but any other club that had to deal with what Chelsea Football Club has had to deal with this season, with the sanctions, with what the managers had to deal with in his personal life, with key injuries, with the COVID cases, with 100 million striker doing interviews with Sky Italy. If any other club had to deal with that, they would crumble. And that just shows how good Chelsea are at dealing with pressure and dealing with that. But overall, Mo, to answer your question, mate, no, it's been a failure of a season for Chelsea standards.
Yeah, just echo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying, echoing from what Bobby and Chris have just said, 100% agree on that. I don't think it has been a successful season. As we said, we're not Arsenal Football Club. We don't say third or fourth spot's a trophy. That's not us. That's not our standards. Yeah, we're higher than that. And
We are not Arsenal. We are not Arsenal Football Club.
Is exactly what I was saying, Nick, and we're not exactly what I'm saying. And for me, the reason why I wanted the World Club trophy, because that was, as we've all said, that was the missing cabinet in our cabinet that we needed to get, and I'm just glad we finally got it. It actually comes to an end of an era with everything that's happened with Roman Abramovich. It's actually end of an era for Roman. He's won every trophy as owner. Now he's no longer our owner anymore, and that's just a good thing for him to sign off. Under circumstances that I think he'd have liked to have left on his own free will, but he was forced to do this situation because of the circumstances. But for us in general, we've got that trophy. Next season is going to be for me the big one, and I'm saying this right now. I'm going to say, give Thomas Tuchel a new contract next season. That's the first thing the owners have got to do. And let this guy manage and let him build a legacy at Chelsea, because I do believe we have the right manager at the football club now, and I think he's a guy to take us forward for the next season's ongoing. That's
absolutely spot on.
Yep. All right. Nipin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Answer the question, Nipin. Has this been a successful season for Chelsea?
Well, for me, a successful, not by Chelsea standards. I'm going to echo what a lot of other people are saying. Not by Chelsea standards, but the fact that we had to work with what we have, I'll say it has been a good season. I mean, 3 trophies, Roman leaving with a bang after winning the lot. Couldn't have asked for more, but I could have done with either another Champions League or a domestic trophy.
All right. Cheers, Nipin. Julius, has this been a successful season?
I think it's been a horrible season. Sorry, I'm gonna be quick because I have to go. But
sure.
Yeah, I think it's been horrible season. One of the worst season I've had as a Chelsea fan. It's been very frustrating because my expectations and standards were very high after being European champions. And yes, we've won trophies this year, but those are a given. And I don't expect anything less than winning the Super Cup against Villarreal and winning the Club World Cup. So it's been horrible with how we planned for the season. Horrible how the sanctions came out of nowhere. Lots of injuries midway in December and January. So, yeah, for me, very bad season. But I'm very happy and really relieved to see and to hear DJ and Bobby and everyone keeping those high standards, because it's very dangerous to drop those standards and accept mediocrity. Because this is one of the things that worries me, is that when we start saying we have to be realistic and accept where we are if we are in a bad situation, I'm not going to accept. And I will keep pressuring the club and the owners and the board constantly. Even if I'm 10th place, the season after, I expect to win the league. That's what we are, and that's who we are, and we've done it before. And this is the mentality we need as fans. Keep these owners under pressure. We can't let them. We still, as well, on top of that, we still don't know how they're gonna be. We don't know their intentions. They say the right things, but that doesn't mean anything. We have to be on top of things as a fan base and keep our standards as high as possible. very refreshing to see that today.
Yeah, no, I'm just keen for you to answer this comment by Eric Dugan. Are you modeling for us, mate? You keep changing your attire.
Yeah, I just changed once, but I'm going out. So
Julius, thank you,
to be
thank you.
honest, I had to come back. It's Boogeyman's fault
I
because
know,
he triggered me. I had to come back. But always a pleasure debating with Boogeyman. He's a legend, and yeah. So
Yeah. Julius, enjoy the rest of your evening, brother. We will see you in the next one.
thank
Take
you,
it easy,
everyone.
bro.
See
Take
you.
care,
Thank
bro.
you.
Take care,
brother.
buddy.
Take care, mate. Take care.
Cheers. All right, let me go to Hawkeyes. Same question. Has this been a successful season?
Yeah, I think I would just have to agree with what everyone has been saying. I think basically it's a very heartbreaking season for Chelsea fans because we've gotten into different positions where we could have made, positive feelings from those occasions. We've lost games against bottom table teams, but regardless, we're still hanging. That's something I do not even understand. How did we get to so many FA Cup, the finals, FA Cup finals, Carabao Cup finals? How did we get to the semis of the Champions League with so much problems in our team, in the whole structure this season? I think it was a whole lot. It was a whole lot for that squad. It was a whole lot and very heartbreaking for the players and for the fans as well. But in general, I think it was an okay season. Regarding all we went through, as everyone has said. So we can only just hope, build better from this season. And it looks like we already have the framework, what we want to do, how we want to play. Not really how we want to play, but we already have somewhere we want to start from. We already have standards right now. So I think going into next season will be very, very, very important, to be a very crucial thing for the club. So that's basically what I have to say.
All right. Andrew sent in a second super chat. Andrew, thank you very much for your kind words, mate. Just wanted to say a massive respect to you, Mo. Great panelist and a great debate. Keep up the fantastic work that you do. The best Chelsea supporters channel on YouTube. Mate, that means a lot to me. That statement means a lot to me, and thank you for that. It's you guys who make this channel what it is. You guys in the chat, the people who come on the panel, you guys make it where it is. We are fans of one of the best clubs on the planet, and we should be able to debate and discuss our points of view with respect and with understanding. We're not always going to agree, but once we are able to discuss the debate, discuss and debate with respect, we will always be better at the end of the evening. We will always learn something. So, again, Andrew, thank you for your support, mate. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Boogeyman.
Feeling better now, kind of. I'm actually feeling kind of better now. Looking at Twitter,
Yeah,
UK's just won the Eurovision,
yeah.
so
Listen,
that's made me feel slightly better.
we will always find things that are positive. So always seek the positivity in life. Twitter is not the best platform for that, but I sometimes give you some good news. So it's good to get that. Boogeyman, the last person to answer this question, has it been? Actually, no. I'm going to answer it after you, Boogeyman. So has it been a successful season?
No. Yeah, I would say no. I would love to say maybe, but I would just say no. Uh, the problem that I have with this season is not the fact that we didn't win any domestic cup or any domestic tournament is how inconsistent this team is. Every time we play against a team, we tend to either rise to the opponent level or bring ourselves down to the opponent level. We just the performance we played today against Liverpool. If we keep that performance against whoever we play the next game, we'll probably just kill them. We'll destroy them. Uh, and of course, then you start thinking about, well, what is the problem? Then the off-field issues, they take over. Uh, the COVID and the injuries. That you always have excuses to justify why right now we're not top four or not top four. Why we're not challenging for the league? Because as a fan, I mean, as a fan from outside of UK, we invest way too much of our life, our financing to support this team. For me to come to UK to watch a game, it cost me pretty much someone's season ticket. Um, and then at the end of the season, maybe I watch two, three, 4 games. We're talking about 10,000 euro that I would spend to come and watch just support the team that I love. So our frustration grows faster than someone living in the UK or someone that living close to the stadium. I'm not saying we're different. We all have the same love for the team. So for uh, if you ask me, is it a successful season? If I say no, uh, it's not to say like the player did not do what they can do, but it's because I know they can do better because they showed us tonight, the performance they showed today against Liverpool. We should have put that game to bed like earlier. We should have won that game easily. So me, I can make fun of my friends, Liverpool friends, and all those friends around me here. But they didn't do it. We are at the end of the season, and big decision has to be made. And we need to cut some losses. And for me, it's really important that if we decided to go with Tuchel as our repair, like where the how do you say this? If we decide to go with Tuchel or keep the parameter constant, like Tuchel view is the way to go, then let's back him and completely make sure that whatever he wants, we go through his lenses, his way of seeing football, and we back him that way. But if we want, if we want to manage this club the way we used to manage it, then Tuchel needs to be honest. Do you want this player? If you don't want the player, say it. I don't want them. I don't want that player. If you cannot give me, if you keep giving me that player, I'm out. Go find another manager to manage this team because Chelsea, we don't have that time to fight about who is this player, who is this coach player, who is the board player. I don't want to have that fight with anybody. If the player is under a coach, it's the coach's responsibility to make it work. If he's not making it work, then I'll criticize everybody around. That's the way it goes for me. But other than that, listen, we lost Abramovich this year, and it's really painful. I think it was someone that said at least we gave him the World Cup, the World Cup, which is the only thing he was missing. It was missing to his cabinet. So a new era, and let's hope like we have a better way of managing this club. And let's, man, it was difficult season. It was way difficult than I thought. And I'm frustrated. I'm also happy that it ends now. So let's look forward
Yeah,
into the future.
yeah. We move. Um, I look at it a little bit different than you guys. And this is how I look at it. This season has not been a failure. Us winning the Club World Cup and the Super Cup and finishing top 3, getting to 2 finals, and not winning hasn't been a failure. It hasn't been a successful season, but it hasn't been a failure. And the reason why I don't think it's been a successful season is because I like to see Chelsea always improving. And the fact that we won the Champions League last season, we haven't done better this season. The Super Cup and the Club World Cup, great trophies, but they're not the Champions League. So we have done, in my opinion, worse than we did last season. We did better last season. And that tells me that this has not been successful. But at the same time, it's not been failure. I believe that Chelsea Football Club will bounce back. And when I say bounce back, my club on my team is one that challenges for the title. We haven't done that for quite some time. And when I say we haven't done that, it's not only the the tally, the points tally, because that can be a little bit misleading, because just looking at the numbers and the gap between us and Man City and us and Liverpool this season, it tells you that we haven't been doing great. We did do fantastically well up until November, and then the season took a nosedive because of things that are outside of our control. Therefore, I think we still have it within us to be challenging, but I want to see us challenge for the title. And the comments that the people have put in the chat regarding Pep and regarding Klopp, I agree with you 100%. For Chelsea to continue to develop and to challenge for the title, we are going to have to stick by our manager for a good couple of seasons to allow him to develop and build his squad. And this is what I want to see happen this season, this transfer window. And this is why, for me, it's important that the transfers that do come in, the players that do come in, are players that Tuchel wants. Because if Tuchel gets the players that he wants, he will be able to get them to adapt and mold them in the system that he wants to play. And by the way, the 3-4-3 system is not Tuchel's go-to system. It's a system he's used here in England. It's a system that he's used in the Premier League, but it isn't his go-to system. He's had to use that because of the players that he has and how he thinks he can best utilize them. Lads, I can't tell you how disappointed I am that we did not win the FA Cup today. And I'm sure all of you feel the same way as I do, unless you're a Liverpool fan and watching the stream. However, we will build on this and we will get back on track next season, hopefully. I want to wish Thomas Tuchel and the team and the squad and the management and the new owner all the best for the upcoming transfer window, and hopefully we will be able to build our squad for next season. And hopefully the people who have made the mistakes in the past are not given the chance to repeat those mistakes in the future. You can take that statement whichever way you want, but hopefully we'll see some change. Lads, thank you very much for being here in the stream. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed. Thank you to everyone who's hit that like button. And I will see you in a stream. I think we'll be doing the next midweek preview and then the post match. So I'll see you guys then. I'm a little bit knackered. I'm a little bit tired. Thank you all for being here. Have a good night. Up the chills.
Up the chills, guys.
Take care.
Peace out, everyone. Take care.
the
Everyone,
Chelsea.
peace over in the comments.